All right, what's up, Elmas family? Today we're going to continue on our knee on belly series. So today we're going to do a couple more bottom escapes, and then we're going to go over common responses, specifically the spinning armbar and the and the kimura response, as well as the defenses or what to look for when that happens. Going to review those. So here we go. All right. So to start, I want to revisit the concept of the knee on belly. Again, probably do this every day. So the knee on belly is usually a position that we set up from side control. It is usually a control position. And there are a few other ways that you can get in knee on belly that are a bit less straightforward than side control. So if you want to know what those are, you can watch the video from yesterday. So when you get in a knee on belly, there are a multitude of ways, I should say a few ways, that you can control this. One way that works real well is so we're here like this. And they get this, your bottom opponent gets this inside. So you grab the sleeve and you hold tight and you turn, you get here. And then once you're here, you're not going to reposition back into side control because that's a common thing to do. What you're going to do, you're going to post with your foot here. You're actually going to come up into your knee like so. And, don't press on the guy's face. I mean, unless he's being a jerk, could easily do that. But this is common. Or another thing would be to post here with this hand. So we're here. I'm going to reach, grab this, put my elbow in to make that base, right? Put this foot down, come up, and then come in here. Now I've got this control, okay? There's this control. There's, going into the baseball bat choke like we did yesterday. There's this control. The nice thing about this control too, for the top guy, is that it pins the neck down so they can't turn into you, right? And so they're trying to fight here. But I got a good response to that. So the knee bump pass and this, or knee bump transition, and it works real well in knee on belly, and it also works real well when somebody is passing your guard and they have this scenario, okay? So I'm going to show it to you without Bob here, and then I'll try to add Bob in as best I can, okay? So your opponent has you knee on belly, like so, and they got this arm here, they got one of your sleeves or whatever. So what you're going to do is you want to get them off balance. And the best way to get them off balance is to bump them. So you're going to use this knee here and a little bit of pressure from this hand on the hip. If you extend this arm out, especially up like near the shoulder, so when someone's on top of you, their knees here, their leg goes like this, their body's here like this. A lot of times we might try to push to the hand like this. And this isn't the best idea. It's not the end of the world if you did this, as long as you know the arm bar is there. But if you extend this hand out and make it into a frame, that's going to be a problem because it's real easy for the person to step over and then, go for that arm bar there. So we don't want them to even attempt that. We want to keep them here. So what we're going to do is, even if he's got the sleeve, we should still be able to at least get it somewhat down here, right? And we're going to put the hand on the hip, okay? With the hand on the hip, you're going to brace with your left leg, and you're going to bump and try to move everything at the same time as you drive. So it's going to kind of look like this, okay? Just like that. So again, your opponent's here, knee on belly. You get your hand on their hip. You're gonna bridge here. And you're gonna bump with your knee at the same time, so like that. You're gonna push. Now, when you push, what happens is, because the knee is here, the body usually extends away from the leg. So it'll look like this from the other perspective. Okay. So I'm here and here, right? They go and bump, boom, see what happens? I move forward. And when I do that, you'll also notice that here, my butt's pretty close to my foot. When I come forward, now it's farther away from my foot. So what you do in that situation is this arm comes up, the left arm comes up and grabs around the leg, okay? So we're gonna go hand here, brace, we're gonna bridge and bump, and then we're gonna go from there and we're gonna turn out to get your hip away, come over the leg like this. All right, if we come over the leg like this and he's out that far, we don't need to worry about the low single we did last time. This one's sort of like just at the knee. So we can reach around the knee, grab the knee like this, come belly down, and then sit up to our knees, okay? I'm gonna try to get Bob here in a similar position, but he's very hard to manipulate. So we'll do our best with what we got. All right. So Bob's on top of me, like this. All right. His foot's out here. I brace him a little bit at the waist. Okay, my left hand is ready to come here. My right hand's at his waist. All right, so I'm going to make sure I get this foot close to my butt, right? I'm gonna bridge and kick and push. And then once I do, this comes over here like this. I'm belly down. And if they don't get to their back when I do this, like if they just stay here, then it's real easy for me to come up and take their back. But most of the time, people will follow you. And obviously, Bob can't follow me, but go that way. Okay. So that's going to be our air technique for the day. It's going to be, like I said, I'm creating space by kicking him away, and then I'm taking it back by coming in and onto my shoulder. Okay. So one more time, see if I can get him to sit up a little bit better. All right. So I'm here, and I'm here. All right. He's bellying in me in the knee. So I'm going to plant, bridge, kick, shrimp out, and grab all at the same time. And it's like 4 different movements, but it's all basic body movements. All right. So again, foot here, bridge and press, kick out, shrimp, turn over, grab the leg. Ideally, you're going to grab the leg like this, right? Belly down. And once we're belly down, you've got your weight pressed on their leg. Now, come up. And if they aren't on their side already, you can come and take their back and finish them there. Okay? So that's our air move for the day. Now, for those of you who want to be a little more aggressive, and you competitors are definitely on that level, this is a move for you because knee on belly is worth a few points in gi and no gi. It's 3 points, I think. And if you're a competitor, and this is an orthodox leg lock taught to us by Coach Warren. Quite a number of days ago, and it's actually a toe crunch, is what it is. So so in this scenario, what you're going to do is instead of trying to get your opponent to get off of you, you're actually going to use the position to roll up on your opponent. So you're going to grab the foot down here. You're not going to C-cup the ankle. You're not going to go underneath. You're not going to go to the top. You're actually going to grab the outside of the foot like this. And you're going to pull it in just a little bit. Okay? So I grab the foot and I pull it in a little bit. And what you're doing there is you're changing the angle of the knee from here to kind of here like this. And it's going to allow you to sit up a little bit. Because most people are not going to put their foot up real high. And if they do put their foot up real high, it's real easy to push their whole leg down. But once you get their leg down low enough, you want to be able to rotate it, okay? And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about in just a second. But you're gonna if they're up high, you're just gonna push the leg down your body. You're not gonna worry about pushing it off. You're gonna worry about pushing it down. All right, because if it's up here, we don't want it up there. We want it down here, so we push it down. All right, and one thing that can help if they get it up high is to put your foot like this to keep them from potentially mounting if you slide this down. So anyway, so I push this down and I grab the outside of the foot. Then I rotate. So I pull the foot like this and I rotate, okay? And then I'm going to take this inside hand and I'm actually going to turn and go over the foot. All right, I'm going to go over the foot like this. And once I'm over the foot, then the knee should be on the ground and my foot, my outside arm should be over the foot. And this hand should be here. Now, all I have to do, this is a strange movement, because all I have to do is I just have to roll. I don't even have to get up to my knees, I just have to roll. So once I get here, I just start the roll, boom. They're going to go over, boom. And now I'm going to be on top of their leg. Okay, so I've all I did is rolled over. I didn't actually I didn't actually do anything. Like I didn't do anything special. I didn't try to push anything off or anything weird like that. All I did was just roll over. Okay. So now once I've rolled over, your opponent is going to end up kind of like this. All right. So see how I'm laying on their leg like this? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take their foot like this. And I'm actually going to take their toes and I'm going to fold them over like this, right? Then I'm going to get this elbow up high, grab this toes and hand together like this, and then I'm going to squeeze just like that. What I'm doing is the bottom of the foot here, I'm essentially collapsing the foot up like this. And then, and this is Coach Warren's, Professor Warren's, sorry, Professor Brooks. It's his roll-up toe hold. Okay, and it's more difficult to do. You can do it from other positions, but this is probably the most successful position you could do it in. And it really only, like I said, it really only plays if people do knee on belly. All right, so if we kind of reverse the position, so if I start from here and I work myself backwards, watch. So I go, and so now he's up. I don't want to hold him up. I'm just going to pretend like he's knee on belly right here. All right. So we're going to pretend the dummy is up and he's doing knee on belly. Okay. So he's here and he's doing knee on belly. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to make sure he's not up too high. I want him down closer to my belly button. So I'm going to push his leg down like this. All right. Now, once his leg is down, I'm going to grab the foot like so. And I'm going to turn. I'm going to grab this foot like this. And once I do that, now I just flatten myself out and roll and roll and roll. And see, I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm laying on his thigh, laying on the thigh of my opponent. I've got this leg hooked, almost like I'm going to do some fun, toe hold. But the problem is the positioning doesn't allow for a toe hold. The toe, I would need to be rotating this to outside, and the way we want to rotate is inward like this if we want to do a toe hold. So we don't do a toe hold. We do a toe crush. So again, I'm here, right? And I grab the toes like this and I curl it up And I take the other hand like this, and I push and squeeze like that. And it's like an inside toe crush extension kind of old thing right here. All right. And then, worst case scenario, you go for this move and you don't know it very well, and somebody, starts to fight against it. You can just keep rolling if you want to. So if I'm here, I can actually let this go and keep rolling. And now I'm up here in judo side control. Okay. So like I said, this is for your real competitors that can do unorthodox finishes like that. I actually don't know what tournament that would be necessarily legal in, because I know you have to at least be, I think, a blue belt before you can do toe holds. And this isn't a toe hold. This is like a toe crush. So I don't know where that falls in. It might still be blue belt. So, but, like I said, it's not always about finishing the move. It's about using the position to change the position. All right. So again, I'm rewinding. I'm trying to get this guy up on me. Like this. That's good. All right. So I'm here. Right. I don't like how high it is. So I'm just going to push his knee down. And that may extend enough to where I'm going to grab the foot underneath like this. Make sure everyone can see that. So I'm going to grab the foot like this, right? And then I'm going to turn out. And when I turn out, I'm going to reach inside that foot. And once I'm inside here, now I can just roll up. And I could potentially do this. Or if this isn't here for me, like I don't want to finish with the toe crush, right? I can still try to roll up into my judo hold, my scarf hold, or if I get here and I really get really high, I can readjust and just come to my traditional side control. Okay. So those are the two moves. That's like I said, that's a fire move. There's a lot more. It's a lot more aggressive. There's a submission attached to it. If you want to know more details, you can ask. I know Coach Brooks or Professor Brooks isn't in town anymore, but he does have that leg locks DVD he put out on BJJ Fanatics. And if it's still around Prime Day, a lot of websites are doing like off, and it's 50% off. So Prime 2020. No one's gonna watch this though. Anyway, so that's the moves, the two moves, the air move and the fire move for bottom guys. So there's 4 moves for you between today and yesterday that you can attempt to get rid of knee on belly. Really, it's because there's not a lot of it's more of an uncomfortable position and a control position than it is a position for submissions. I mean, there are submissions there. We obviously went over one yesterday. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to go over 2 reactionary submissions, all right? So a lot of people, when you do knee on belly, they're going to try to push this knee off. And what happens when you push this knee off? Well, you turn to your side. So let me give you the way it looks. All right. So someone's got me knee on belly, and I go, oh, I don't like this. So most of the time, people will put this hand on the knee like this, and they'll push it over. Now you see where my arm ends up when I go for this? Ends up right here. There are 2 options for people from here. Okay, there's kimura, and there is a armbar. All right. Kimura and armbar, those are your 2 options. So let's talk about the kimura because it doesn't require as much practice to finish the kimura. And if you lose it, you're still in a good position. That's what I like. I like submissions that if you lose them, then you're not worse off than you were before you attempted them. Okay, so like this. So again, I'm here, got his knee on my belly, want to get it off. So a lot of people will push and turn. All right. So when somebody puts their hand on your knee like this, like they're going to push it off. It's different if you're going to push it down, like we've done some of our other ones. Seek up the leg, get it up and over, back in a half guard, or if they get the leg, if you go to do this move and the leg comes down and you come underneath, see how low that is? It's different when it's up here, right? So if it's up here and I'm pushing it off, there are actually 3 submissions that you can do because your opponent does this with their arm and turns. All right. The third submission. So the first one is the kimura. That one's got a spin to it on the outside, and we'll show that in a second. Second one is the armbar, but the third one is the darce. All right, we're not gonna go over the darce today. We did go over the darce last week, I think, or the week before that. But today we're just gonna go over the 2 options because they both require sort of a similar movement. Okay. So the first one I'm gonna go over is the one that doesn't require too much movement, and that is the kimura. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put my butt in your face for a second here, so I can get the angle on this. Try and get the angle on this. All right. So you just did knee on belly, right? Your opponent goes to push, right? And as they push, here's what happens. So they go to push, they push your knee off, and you grab this hand and pin it to their body, right? Your knee is here, your foot's still here like this. So all you gotta do now is step over like this and lock in the kimura. All right, pretty straightforward. One more time. So you're here and here. Your opponent goes to push you off. So now you're here. You grab that wrist. You pivot on that knee just like that. And there's your kimura. Okay? So that's the kimura. Now, and then you finish, you bring this up and over and then behind the back and rotate. Okay? So to finish the kimura from here, you need the one that's closest to the face. That needs to be the wrist control. All right, and ideally it's with a monkey grip. Remember, thumb out, thumb inside like this. And this hand goes underneath, grabs, and then you figure 4, and then you rotate back and down across the back like that. Okay, so when you're in this position though, this is not the end of the world, okay? Just because I got you in the kimura doesn't mean it's the end of the world. What would make it the end of the world is if as we're going for this, instead of gripping this wrist maybe, I'm somebody who like spins and lifts this up. And now once it's lifted up here, almost like an arm bar, then when I switch, the arm's up real high, then I can just push it back down. That's actually a really strong way to work this kimura. And so you have to watch out for those things as well. So if as I'm coming around, I lift this arm with this inside arm, all right? So again, I'm here, I'm on the knee, on belly, the opponent pushes this knee, and what he does, instead of pushing the wrist, like I did, sorry, I'm in the way here. Instead of pushing the wrist, like I did, I'm actually going to let my knee drop, and I'm gonna get this hand inside. So this knee drops and my hand's inside. Now I'm here like this, right? And I lift this up. So I got shoulder control on the back of the arm. I lift this up, and then I step over. When I step over, now the arm's up real high. It's much more difficult to defend. So then I can reach around and then push this down and then finish the kimura. If I leave this low, like I said, there's much stronger ways to defend, all right? Let me show you a couple of those. Again, so if I'm the bottom guy, right, and I'm here, and someone goes to kimura me, my first thought should be, in my opinion, get your hands together. Your hands, in my opinion, are the strongest defense to this, okay? So your hands should be just like this. All right, notice that I'm gable gripping, and I'm gable gripping kind of crunchy like this. So if their arms inside, it might be more like this because they're taking space away. You can do this, but this isn't as strong. Like I can't pull this in as hard as I can, and this makes it real weak. See, I can't like do this. So I always go this hand, the top hand up, bottom hand down, gable grip, and then I rotate that. Now I've created something real hard to pull against. See, here, there's nothing hard to pull against. It's just my hand against my thumb. Here, it's my hand against my hand, my flat hand against my flat hand. So I'm here, right? This is how I will defend the kimura. Now, this doesn't mean that they can't break this grip because this is something that they could break, right? So that's number one. Now, let's say your arm's pinned. Your arm is on the ground. Maybe they've somehow pinned the arm to the ground. All right. You actually have three options here. Option number one is grabbing your own gi. All right. If your arm's down low enough, you can get this. Now they're trying to pull on your gi. So they can't do it. All right. This is one of the harder ones to break if your hand's low enough. If your hand's over here, grabbing this gi isn't as effective because your arm is bent. So one other option is to grab your belt. All right. Now the problem with the belt, of course, is that it spins. And once it spins and your arm's up here, it's going to be actually easier to finish. All right. Your third option is inside the pants. This is a common one. So my hand's here, right? And I've actually gripped my pants. In no-gi, you have to just put your hand inside, but I've actually gripped my pants here. I've folded a little bit here, gripped my pants, and now it's going to be hard for my opponent to get my arm out to kimura me, all right? But my favorite is actually to get out because you can't get out, all right? If you're just defending, this is just could be a matter of time, They manipulate your arm, like let's say I'm here, there's this knee right here. They could push this knee inside my arm and get my arm to come down here like this while they're pulling. So now I'm going to lose my twist, and then I'm going to lose my grip, and then I got S grip, and then I can lose that. It's just a matter of time. If someone's not giving this up, if they pin this arm down until they get that. All right, and then once that's there, it's behind the back, and then rotate. So what I like to do, and this was in an earlier lesson as well, it's a move that I call the significant other or the partner, and it's just it's a simple power rotation. That's how I would look at it. It's a power rotation. So you even with your hands gripped like this, you can do this because what you're going to do is you're going to put your foot down like this, and you're actually going to just rotate underneath yourself. So I'm not going to roll. I'm not going to go like this. All right. I'm actually going to just rotate by bumping my hip up and then shrimping my hip out so I go flat to my back. Okay, so it looks like this. So I'm here, I've got this. I don't like to stay in this position because I might be weak. Like if somebody might be, real good at getting the, like I said. So I'm gonna bump up and see how my butt comes off the ground when I do that. So I'm posting here and my butt comes off the ground. I'm on my shoulder and look how I'm already rotating. So I go, boom. When I do that, I drive the shoulder down, this elbow down real hard. And what happens is the kimura needs your opponent's arm behind the elbow. So the arm needs to be behind here to catch it for the rotation. If I can get it here, I'm out. So that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm here like this. I'm going to bump. I'm going to pull that and just rotate that arm real hard like that. Now I can reestablish whatever I need to. So my opponent will be on top of me, like probably legs on either side. He might even have this arm pinned like this, but now I can readjust and defend, maybe even turn to get this arm out, whatever. But the bottom line is you've escaped that kimura, okay? So remember, defenses include S grip, palm down to palm up against the ground so you can get a good palm to palm, or sorry, like this. So it's rotated over, so you get palm to palm pulling down. There's grabbing the lapel, cross lapel, not same side lapel, same side lapel. See how easy that comes out? Cross lapel does not. Okay. Belt, pants, and so that's that's for your side one. Okay, those are that, and then the significant other, the partner roll. I might call it partner roll, or bed roll. I don't know. You can call it bed roll. That might be good. Call it the bed roll. We'll call it the bed roll. Okay. Or the bed twist. I don't know. Coming up with names on the fly, so if I just say it, you know what I'm talking about. So now I add like 10 different names, so you'll never know what I'm talking about. The bed, we'll call it the bed roll. So now instead, what your partner does is you're going to come over and he's going to hook the arm just like I showed you, except now they're going to step over the back. Okay, they're going to pivot and they're going to pull me down for an arm bar. All right. So what that arm bar looks like is it's going to look like this. Okay, so notice with this arm bar, I don't have this leg over. I got it inside and I'm pinching. All right, this leg is over and I pulled this way. All right, and also notice that I'm not perpendicular, right? I'm not here, right? But I'm more like slightly diagonal to the person's arm. Okay, there's a couple reasons for that, but mainly this leg prevents me from going this way. Okay, and so I'll try to show you what that looks like. It's not my favorite move. It's not spinning moves, are not moves that I like to do, but you should still know that they exist. Okay, so I'm going to do my best with what I've got, as they say. Okay, so in this case, again, you are knee on belly, right? You're up here. Your opponent starts to turn into you. As your knee goes down, you get that arm inside. All right, so instead of stepping over here, you're actually going to step all the way over to the other side. So I'm going to windshield wiper this foot, put that foot right behind my opponent like this. Then once I'm there, okay, once I'm here, I'm going to rotate this over, okay, and then I'm going to swing this leg over his head. All right. So see if I can do this nice and smooth for you guys. Because like I said, it's not really my cup of tea, but I know it's there. So knee on belly. He goes to push, 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 push. He pushes, boom, arm comes inside. I've got control of the back or the shoulder. I'm going to take this foot, step it around, step up like that, and then come back. All right, so now I've got this arm over here, this arm can work. Like if you're over that arm, that's fine. If you're just over the head, that's fine. But I think most of the time you'll end up under this armpit, which is good. Gives a little more distance between you and the arm. Keep this tight. And then his arm's a little short, so I apologize. But then this is behind. If you leave this leg, like if you flatten this leg out for some reason when you're doing this, because this happens, your opponent can roll up on your leg, right, easily. So if this leg is like flat while I'm trying to do this, right? What's to stop him from rolling up? Nothing. You need to have this knee tucked in here like this. Keep this tight, and you're good to go, like this. Okay. So that's your twist, that's your rotating arm bar from that position. And that's a good way to set that up as well. Put the knee on there, make a mistake, pushing in, grab that arm, swing it around, boom. Now, all those movements take a minute, all right? They always take a minute to do all of those movements. And so in the process, what you're gonna do is you're actually going to grab your hands together, Okay, this is your first line of defense. Some people like this sort of like, maybe if you do elbow to elbow like this, grabbing your elbow, mainly because if they try to pull, they're pulling against this whole arm. The only problem is that if they get it far enough forward, now this arm is straight, so it's not holding on to anything anymore, and you just got to clear this hand and it'll come off. Plus, this doesn't give you very much room to move in, right? I like room to move. So a lot of times what I'll do is sometimes I'll have a start like this. So that's sort of like hook, and you can do whichever feels more comfortable. I tend to be a right over left guy. Something about the way my wrists are. So this is how I usually am, and that really helps usually with the right side. The left side, though, if I do that, it's up. So that's why I like your regular gable grip, right? From here, you're actually going to slide down to your gable grip as they go. So I always go for the gable grip, and part of that's because I have more movement here. If they've got me over here like this, and they're pulling on my arm, versus if I'm here, and they're pulling on me, they're pulling my body up, right? And then they're going to go here, and that's annoying. So I got to end up over here like this, and this arm straight, all super annoying. So when somebody grabs my arm, that's why I always go for this. Whether it be a kimura, whether it be a spinning armbar, whatever they tend to go for, I'm going to go like this. Now what they do will dictate what I do. So if they go for the kimura, we do those kimura escapes, those defenses and escapes that I showed just a second ago. And if they go for the armbar, with the armbar, in this specific scenario, you want to practice, it's called the hitchhiker's escape. All right, so the hitchhiker's escape works like this. So I've got my opponent, right? They're in here, maybe got this leg here, like this, and they got that arm, and I'm going to pretend like the arm's here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge, and I'm going to bring my head underneath, all right? A lot of people try to do this, like there's a lot of pressure right here, and a lot of people try to do this. The hitchhiker's escape is you turn your thumb out like this, and you get your head underneath. But if you don't create space by bridging, then when you try to run away, your head runs into their butt, right? You need to create space for your head to get into. It's the first time I have to do this. Well, with the dummy. So I'm here, and I want to escape, right? He's got this leg. It's only a matter of time. I need to be proactive. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to proactively, I'm going to bridge, right? And when I bridge, I'm going to bridge up on my shoulders, and by doing that, I'm creating space underneath my back that I can replace my head with. All right. So I'm here, okay, and I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to come out just like that. All right. See how my head's far away from his butt, and so now I can come out and come up to my knees and get out. Okay. So one more time, just on that one escape, because this is a potential move here that you might do if you're top guy. All right, so I'm here, I'm holding, being a jerk. So I'm gonna bridge. I'm gonna come out like that. Okay, and if I do this right, I'll actually stay pretty close to his upper leg like this, and I'll be able to use that as a handle to get myself up to the other side. All right, be different if I had an opponent, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, that is that. So those are the thoughts to be aware of, the concepts for the day. I hope you enjoyed all that. If you have any questions, please just let me know, put them in the comments or whatever, or you can ask me in person if you happen to see me. And tomorrow we're going to go over the top part of knee on belly. What do you want to do from the top? Not submissions, just like what your options are in terms of how to approach knee on belly. Okay? All right, guys, have a good one.